Welcome back, YouTube pipe smokers. Button Chop Piper here. Well, today's video is entitled McClelland Calls It Quits. Well, as most of you might know already, the tobacco company called McClelland, who's famous for a lot of blends, especially the Frog Morton series, Frog Morton Cellar, Frog Morton on the Bayou, Frog Morton on the Town, and several others, has decided to close their doors. Now, the statement read that the reason why they're doing this is because of the upcoming government FDA kind of crackdown. They cannot find producers or their tobacco producers that produce their tobaccos just cannot keep up with or cannot grow quality tobacco that they require to keep their tobacco at the highest purity level that they can. So they have just decided to stop production and close the doors. Now, about 3 days after the announcement, I went online to see if I could find any McClelland blends, and everywhere was sold out. So I'm not sure if they're going to restock or if how much they've got to send out, after the doors are closed. I don't know if they're going to restock any or not. Both Frog Morton Cellar and Frog Morton on the Town are in my favorite blends, and I've got 10 of each, 10 tins of each in my cellar. So I'm okay. So why am I telling you this? Why is this a concern? Well, let's think about it. Everything was going just fine. Everything was going just smooth. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, a tobacco company decides, okay, that's it. We're done. We're closing the doors. 3 days after that, the amount of tobacco stock that online and maybe even brick and mortar stores is depleted. It's gone. So that should be a wake-up call for all of us. Who's going to be next? GLPs? Cornell and Deal? Orlick? Who's next? So this video is basically a call to action for you, for me, for anyone that wants the tobaccos that they really enjoy. I can't say I saw this coming, but I suspected that with the FDA, even though they've kind of backed off on some of their demands, it's still going to be quite costly for a lot of these tobacco companies to retool and to repackage their tobaccos. So there may be others out there that are looking at, okay, is it worth producing the tobacco that we produce? Are we making enough money to where we can retool and we can reorganize the way we package our product? So I did this a long time ago, and it wasn't because I was expecting something like this. I did it because I really wanted to build my cellar up. So I would order a tin here, order a tin there, and I ended up probably smoking around 90 to 100 different blends. I'd get bulk blends here, and I'd get a tin of tobacco there, and the tobacco I liked, I kept. The tobacco I didn't quite like, I gave away to friends or to my family. My son-in-law, he smokes, so I gave it to him. But I decided, I learned about, or I settled on 12 blends that I really thought were great and I loved. And I started to slowly but surely purchase enough to where I could cellar enough of each of the blends that I really enjoyed. And I've got about 10 tins of each. Now those tins are going to stay in my cellar, like I said before, for at least 10 years. I'm 56 now. That'll bring me to 66. I'm pretty sure that I don't know if I can smoke 1,200 tins of tobacco from then until I die. But at least I have, or no, that's not 1,200, is it? 120, I'm sorry. 120 tins of tobacco before I pass on. But at least they're there, and they're cellaring as we speak. So you don't have to go to that extreme. You don't have to buy a tin here, buy a tin there, and smoke as much as I have smoked. And decide on 12 blends or 15 or 20, whatever. If there's 4 or 5 blends now that you have smoked and you really like those blends, my advice is to start buying a little bit at a time until you get enough to where you think that you'll have enough to last. Now you young people, the guys that are 25, 30, 40 years old, I don't know if you're going to be able to buy enough, or I don't know if you want to buy enough. But, I don't know who's going to be next. And as we can see with McClelland, it happens in an instant. It could happen tomorrow. Orlick could come out and say, we just can't, it's not cost effective enough for us to continue creating our tobacco, so we're closing the door. 3 days later, all Orlick products have depleted. And you said, man, I really like Dark Strong Kentucky, and now I can't get any. If you like an Orlick blend, or Cornell and Deal blend, or Joe Peace blend, go ahead and start getting a little bit of, whatever company that makes the blend that you like. Start getting a little bit at a time, and start putting that in your cellar, so that way you won't be caught off guard when another company decides they're going to close their doors. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Until my next video, I want to wish you and your family happy piping.